along the lines of athletic training in the profession, we have a lot of great athletic trainers coming out of school and, a lot more opportunities. In the next decade, I truly believe that there's going to be so many more opportunities for all the athletic trainers, whether you're a veteran or you're coming straight out of school. But what is it that we've kind of been out of school for a little while now? I wouldn't say a long time, but a little while. I mean, looking back, there's a lot of different things that we have experienced. And if you were to pass on some of that information or just think back, what are things that you wish you would have known as a new grad coming out of school, just being a recent certified athletic trainer? What are some of your words of advice that you could pass on to this next generation?
Oof. Words of advice are a little different than what I wish I'd known, but I'll give you both. I think maybe first what I wish I'd known, and I'll preface this by saying this current staff, those educators at the University of Hawaii at Manoa are spectacular. And I recall and go back to my education and the foundation that was built there all the time. And that's, let's be very clear here, we are not receiving any kind of compensation for this in any measure. But I'll tell anybody to listen, I had a great experience there, and the education I got was invaluable. I would have not liked to have incurred so much school debt. But that being said, I got an education that I feel like as I continue to be a practitioner, I appreciate more and more because of everything that was done at that university, right? So having said that, there's not tons of like, oh, I wish they would have taught us that, or that would have been nice. But I wish that I probably would have internalized more, even more than I already did, about each setting and the experience that every single practitioner there and at the high schools that I worked at were not only so similar, but diverse and different in how they approach things. I wish I would have absorbed more. And I don't know that that's possible, but that's something like, I wish I'd done that more. As far as advice, like you alluded to, it's not like we've been doing this for 40 years. Like, back in my day. But I will say that the advice that we got to be present, to take every opportunity to learn and to volunteer and just get your hands dirty, as they say, was massive. And I realized later on that's why they said it, is because I find myself telling students that come and shadow me on the road and wherever we may be, or lectures that I've given, I find myself regurgitating the same thing. Those crazy injuries that I have pictures of and that I tell stories about, if I'm not there, I never would have experienced. And that's true whether it be at the university setting, high school, or otherwise. If you're just not there, there's no way you'll get to see it. So I guess the advice is to be present as much as possible. For some people, that's far more plausible because, family, finances, all kinds of stuff play into that, right? But if for you as a student to be as involved as you possibly can, even if nothing's happening in the athletic training room, athletic trainers like to talk and they'll start telling stories. And what you can learn from that is probably as valuable as watching somebody come in bloodied and bruised up and getting to evaluate and watch that as well.
Yes, definitely. And I, just to tag along or tag on to that, that's what I think at UH we both got, is just immersing ourselves into these settings. And that's what I take away the most, is just experiencing all of these different things. And like you said, if you miss something, then you never really got that firsthand experience. And obviously we can't be around for everything, but the more that you immerse yourself in these settings, the more that you're probably going to experience and see. And that goes not only with injuries and everything, but that goes in your interaction with your athletes. It goes with how you're going to handle day-to-day things. But there's so many things that I would say for recent grads and new students, just immerse yourself in whatever setting, because you'll start to pick up things faster. And the second thing that sticks with me even to this day, is that the learning really never stops. It's not like we get certified and it's just like, okay, we just go to continuing eds. It's like, no, the learning is ongoing, and you probably learn more after you get certified than you actually do in the program. So It's just understanding that you don't need to know everything coming out of school, but just know that you need to know how to look up information, how to learn more, how to see what kinds of things need to help you. And that goes like with what you said, is sometimes it's just learning more about the sport or the activity so that you can be a better athletic trainer in that setting. So there's so many things that I definitely agree. I think getting the right education and the foundation is very important, but a lot of it you'll just keep growing as the years go on, and before you know it, hopefully it's a long successful career being an athletic trainer and talking and interacting with tons and tons of people.